Hi, I'm Arden Kaywin, and today's episode of the Pro Singer Success Collective is the number one thing you need to know to go from good to great. Stay tuned.
We have an important topic today because I know that so many of you feel like you're good, but you want to be great. And there are a lot of good singers out there, but generally the ones that are thriving in their careers, the ones that are making and taking opportunities and taking things to that next level, they're tapping into great. And it's not just about their singing, it's about their mindset, it's about their energy. There are a lot of things that take a singer from good to great. So that's what we're talking about today. You know, there's a quote that I love, and I'm always about giving you guys quotes because I geek out on this kind of stuff. So this quote I absolutely love, and here goes. Knowledge does not mean mastering a great quantity of different information, but understanding the nature of the mind. This knowledge can penetrate each one of our thoughts and illuminate each one of our perceptions. And that's a quote by Matthew Ricard. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about, people. Yes, this idea that knowledge is not about information, but about understanding the bigger picture. There's information and there's knowledge, and those are not the same thing. There's, you know, if you think about going from good to great, right? Is what we're doing is we're talking about the difference between information and transformation. And there's a huge difference, I think a great deal of difference between information and transformation. And that's what we're going to be talking about today, because the difference between information and transformation is how we get from good to great. So information is super important. Don't get me wrong, right? I mean, you need to understand breath support and resonance, your technique, how to use your body for optimum efficiency, for support and resonance, vowel placement, vowel modification, how to negotiate seamlessly between your registers. All of that information is super necessary to make your instrument work. But, and this is a big old but, assuming you have studied one-on-one with an expert, with a teacher, and you have all that information, and yet you're still not where you want to go in your singing and in your career. If you want to dramatically change the trajectory of your singing in your career, you don't need more information. You already have all the information that you need. The singers that I work with, you guys, they are massively up-leveling their singing in a fraction of the amount of time with greater results, while their colleagues are still slowly plodding along the old way, just racking up information, because these singers are getting transformation, okay? There is a huge difference between information and transformation. So in my very humble opinion, take what you like, leave the rest. In my opinion, if you are an opera singer, you do not need to do another pay-to-play apprenticeship program. If you're a recording artist, you do not need to find and spend, tens of thousands of dollars on this hot new producer. You do not need to change managers or agents or ping pong from teacher to teacher to teacher, right? You don't need to change your diet or your hair color or get the newest, fanciest humidifying steamer or jump on the bandwagon with whatever the latest vocal fad is, okay? Don't get me wrong. You can do all those things if you want. You can do all them if you enjoy them, but you don't need to. Those are all Band-Aids on a mosquito bite. Ain't gonna do nothing to help the itch, right? It's a Band-Aid on a mosquito bite. It doesn't solve the problem. So do those things if they make you feel good, but they're not going to fix the fact that you want better results from your auditions, your recordings, your performances than you're currently getting, despite all of the information that you have. You don't need more information, guys. You need to shift how you're processing it and how you're embodying it, okay? You don't need more information. You need transformation. And, I cannot tell you how many singers that I meet who tell me that, like, intellectually, they totally understand what they're supposed to be doing. Intellectually, they understand what their teachers are asking them, what they should be putting themselves out for, how they should be, creating their support and all this stuff. They intellectually understand all that. But when it comes to, like, the moment of doing it, their body's like, nope, can't do it, not gonna do it, can't let go, can't trust it, too scary, too vulnerable, nope. They've got all the information that they need, but they can't use it because the transformation has not occurred, since nobody has told them that that's the problem. They're up a creek with all this information and no way to use it. So what do most singers do? They go and pay for more information until they're so far up that creek with so much information and no real transformation that they become super frustrated. They become bitter. They become jaded. Sometimes it goes so far as affecting their mental health, their physical health. They start turning to coping mechanisms, to food, to alcohol, to isolating. They're not putting themselves out there anymore. They start having, body image issues because now they're going to food and now they don't want to audition. I mean, you guys, there is a domino effect here, okay? When you're so far up that creek with so much information and you have done so much and you still are not singing the way you want and you're still not seeing the impact of all that information in the form of the thriving career, it's because no real transformation has occurred. And that is, pardon me, being frustrating. And that's where talented singers start to go down that vortex into that bitter place, that jaded place. They cannot understand how, with all this training, they are still not performing in a way that's opening the doors to a higher level of success. So, who here is struggling with this? Go ahead, type into the chat, let me know. Out yourself. You're not alone, I guarantee you. I see so many singers who are down this rabbit hole. So who's struggling with this? What does this cost you in your career? Right? This is where we get real, you guys. This is where we get real. This is the place to do it. So type into the comments, is this you? Are you down this rabbit hole and trying to claw your way out with no real understanding of how? Do you feel like you have all this information, but you're still not singing at the level you want? And is your career still not at the level you want, despite all the information that you have? Do you just keep paying for more information and information and information and still feeling like you're just circling the same drain? Who's feeling this way? And if you're watching in the rebroadcast, that's okay too. Go ahead, type into the chat, because I always engage with you guys in the comments afterwards anyway. You are not alone. Okay? So what is the lack of transformative learning costing you in your career? What is it costing you in your mental health? What is it costing you in your sense of self? I mean, we can only go on this merry-go-round for so long before we start to question our talent. How many of you started questioning your talent? Maybe, am I really good enough? Like, am I really, do I really have talent? Am I really as good as I think I am? Like, I thought I was good, but maybe, have you started to question your talent? How does that affect your sense of self, your sense of self-esteem? Knowing that you have this gift, that you have this reason that you were put on this planet, and it's in there, but yet you're not living a life from those gifts at the level that you want. What is this lack of transformative learning costing you? Not just in your career, but the fact that you are this age and have been doing it for this long, and you're still at a day job you hate. You still go into that audition and are crossing your fingers and wondering if your voice is going to show up. What does that cost you in your sense of self, in your relationships? If we're showing up to our relationships constantly feeling like we're not enough, like we're behind, like, all these things that when we don't feel like we're doing our passion at the level we could, that it causes us to feel like, how is that affecting your relationships, right? What is this lack of transformative learning costing you in your career? And then by not having that career that you want in your life. Because look, you guys, what I've discovered through my work is this. Bringing mindful practice into your singing changes everything. Everything. The key to catalyzing your technique so that all the information that you have can actually work for you is mindful integration. Okay? Because until we catalyze that technique, until we get all that information working for you seamlessly, not being sabotaged by whatever's going on up in the stinking thinking, right? Your performances, your auditions, your recordings are not going to make the impact that they could. Without that impact, the career is probably just going to stay where it is. It's the impact that you make on that audience, on that listener, that takes that career to the next level. That is the difference between good and great. Impact. And the way we get impact is learning how to catalyze everything that you're learning so that you actually can stop sabotaging it and have it all work for you. And the key to that is mindful integration. It's connecting high-level technique with proven moments of mindful practice in the moment of singing. High-level technique plus proven mindful practice equals transformation. That's what facilitates the transformation that takes you from good to great. And that's what the singers that are in the 2-month intensive program are learning. And that's why they're busting through to all these new levels in their singing in their career. I was just talking to one of my singers, Jules, who is just finishing up the program. And she did an outside concert. Jules was telling me, and she's just coming to the end of the 8 weeks when we were talking earlier today, that there are a lot of people who, were in the audience who'd heard her sing many times before, other musicians, other colleagues, people that she knew in addition to the audience that was there. And she said that like the reaction to her voice was, she was so floored. People were coming up to her who have heard her sing for years and saying like, what are you doing? Like your voice sounds like it's so much more open. It's so much more resonant. Like you sound like you're like singing like right into my heart, I think, so this is what she's been learning for the last 8 weeks, which is how to integrate this kind of high level technical training with proven mindful practice so that when she goes up there, she makes so much more of an impact. And people who'd been watching her for years and, she was a good singer, but now she's moving into that great category because of this work. And so if you're watching this and you are a singer who has tons of training and you are just like filled to the brim with information, but you're still lacking the transformation that's, preventing you from making the impact that Jules is now experiencing, book a call with me. All of the singers that you've heard me talk about, right? Jules included, their journey to making an impact, their journey from good to great all started by watching something like this and by booking a call with me, because I want you to know that you do not have to stay stuck. Like I will be shouting from the rooftops, like till my dying day, like on my grave, it's going to say, you don't have to stay stuck. There is a different way. When you change your thinking, you change your singing. The body cannot do what the brain is sabotaging. So do not spend any more time on training programs that only give you information without the transformation. If you do, you will continue to flounder, waste money, waste time, and be frustrated. And I don't want that for you. Not when I see singers doing this kind of work in 2 months, shifting their entire reality of the sound that they can make and the impact that they're having. The singers, who do the intensive are getting that foundation for the transformation in 8 weeks, people. 8 weeks. This is not something that you have to spend like years and years and years doing. And you know how many singers I get who have come into this program and have been like, in a weekly lesson with the same teacher for 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, right? And like, why? When like you can do this in 8 weeks. You guys, my goal is to give you that foundation so that you don't need me. I don't want you to be like stuck at the teat of your teacher, like every week for years and years and years. Oh, I can't go to the audition before I got to see my teacher first. You know how many times I've like heard that? Oh, I can't go into the studio. I got to go see my teacher first. I got it. Like, that doesn't serve you. You guys need all this within yourself. And that's the aim of this program. So if you're a singer who has a lot of information, you've had a lot of training, and you are just circling the same level in your career, you're always the bridesmaid, never the bride. You get the understudy, but you don't get the lead. You make a recording and like you get 100 spins on Spotify, and you're just like, what the fuck? Right? That's because you're not making an impact yet. And the transformation is what facilitates the impact. So if you're relating to this, oh my God, don't waste a minute. Book a call. It's free. And I do this for you guys because I want you to understand what this is and that there is another way. And we're going to get on the phone for 45 minutes, maybe an hour. We're going to talk about what's coming up for you. We're going to talk about, get some clarity on all the ways that you're feeling stuck, the ways that you feel, the issues that you're feeling in your voice, in your career. And we're going to talk and, we're going to lay out an exact strategy for how you are going to get that impact and what that takes. And if you would like my help in order to do that, we will talk about that. If it's a fit, awesome. If it's not, that's okay too, because there's so much learning and discovery in this call, even if we don't end up working together, that you will take into the next journey of your career. But I also want to make sure that you understand that this call is not for singers who are new to training. So if you've only had, less than a year of one-on-one training with an expert, with a teacher, this call is not for you yet. Okay. Most of the things that you probably feel that are going on, if you're feeling, like you're not able to make the sound that you want consistently, if you're feeling like your auditions go nowhere, go get that training first. Most of the effects that you're feeling are probably because you just don't have that baseline of like basic technique that you can rely on to give you that confidence. So if you have not had at least a year of one-on-one training, don't book this call yet. Go get that training. There are so many amazing teachers online right now. You can work with any of the best of them from around the country. But if you have had tons of training and you're relating to everything that I'm saying, don't waste another minute. Time is the one non-renewable resource that we are all given. What have you got to lose? I love talking to you guys. I love giving you different perspectives. I love hearing what's going on. And if I can help you, and if, I will show you what that looks like. And if it's a fit, awesome. And if it's not, that's okay too. Okay, everybody. It's been awesome. Information, no more. Transformation, what we want. Okay, guys. Bye.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning into today's episode. If you want to subscribe, click the link right over there that says subscribe. And if you want to book a breakthrough session with me, which you absolutely should do, then click the link right over here that says book a call to schedule an appointment to speak with us. I'll see you on the next episode.